All right, welcome to yet another edition of the Greasy Trappy.
I'm calling it right now.
Calling it. Call it.
12-hour grease trap.
12-hour grease trap.
The conversation is going to be so stimulating and brisk that we're going to lose track of time, and it's going to be tomorrow, and we're going to be like,
shit.
what the fuck?
Paul, guess what?
What?
I just looked at the time on this. We've already been going for 2 hours.
You're fucking shitting me.
We've already been going 2 hours.
You're fucking
Holy
shitting
shit,
me.
2.5 hours.
Oh, my God. It's like the time is flying.
That's how fucking amazing this conversation is already.
Yep. You guys hear how the fucking new James Bond movie was pushed back to Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I did. Why?
I don't know. It fucking pisses me off. I was like, yeah, I get to see the fucking movie next month. And it's like, no, it's a Thanksgiving release. You think it's Oscar bait, maybe? They're hoping that.
I mean, it'd be pretty. Has a James Bond movie ever won any sort of significant Oscars? I mean, maybe some effects Oscars or something down
I think
the way.
that, like, James Bond singers that have done the intros have won Grammys.
They've definitely. Well, they've won Oscars too for best original.
Didn't Adele win?
No, actually, I think Adele's the first one ever win for that.
She won for Skyfall.
Skyfall, yeah.
There's been a few other original songs from the James Bond series that probably should have fucking won, but whatever.
Die.
But yeah, there was
another day.
so
Not that one. Fuck
Die.
you.
Another
maybe
day.
they're angling for that Oscar again.
I think Madonna has probably the worst James Bond song.
Who's
ever.
doing the theme song for this one? Do you know?
Yeah,
Billie Eilish.
Billie Eilish is doing it.
Oh,
I like it. I think it's
can't
good.
stand
it's a
Billie
good song.
Eilish garbage.
It's a good fucking song. Fuck you.
Oh, does it already come out?
Yeah,
Oh, I haven't heard it yet.
you can listen to it. It's good.
It's a good Bond song.
Get
I haven't
down
heard
with
it
it.
either.
Whatever, TJ.
Get down with the sickness.
Chelsea loves fucking Billie Eilish. I think that's why TJ's like,
Yeah.
oh, man, it's great. Hey, I think Billie Eilish is coming around here.
She keeps making me listen to that faggot shit.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean, bros?
The things we go for.
we do for these broads,
Yeah.
you know?
But I ain't doing it in a fucking dank bathroom. I do it publicly.
No, I think she has. I mean, especially if you compare it to some of the other really shitty James Bond songs out there. I don't know if she does. She doesn't do it as good as Adele. I think the Skyfall song was really fucking good.
Well, Adele just has that like perfect voice for a Bond
I
song.
also love the Chris Cornell one. He did.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
It wasn't as good as the Adele
It didn't.
one.
I don't know if it really struck the right James Bond vibe for me, but I think it was kind of good for that reboot.
Dude, when are they going to get Manson to do one?
Never.
Dude, I think Manson might be able to put out a pretty decent Bond song.
I mean, he could, but they'll never give it to him.
No time to die. No time. That's how you would do it.
Settle down.
That's how you would do it, though.
No, not that. Might have been how fucking like '90s Manson would have done it, but now it'd be like, no time to die.
I want this so bad now. I can fucking taste it, dude.
He'd be way more groany with it now.
Oh, bullshit, dude. I know the Manson's true heart. You don't know shit.
I mean, he might do some yelling in it, but a lot of it's going to be, which I happen to love how he does that. I sound like I'm making fun of it, but
Of course you love it.
I am making fun of it. But at the
Marilyn
same time,
Manson,
I do enjoy
Marilyn Manson could just come out and take a dump on the stage and leave, and you'd be like, "Oh my fucking god!" It was Jesus,
brilliant.
the most beautiful dump ever taken.
I think we have to ask the real pointed question here, TJ. Would
Yeah.
you take a bubble bath with Manson?
A bubble bath? I don't think Manson. I have a tough time even imagining Marilyn Manson in a fucking bubble
I don't.
bath.
You walk into the room and he's like, "I special order black bubbles." They're black. Yeah.
It's like a black foam.
See.
Come into the black foam, TJ.
TJ would be naked and in that fucking.
All right, I'm here.
I'm in the
Grease
black
lightning.
bubbles.
Take it up. Well, I heard he likes to take bubble baths. So.
Really? Oh.
Yes.
His spotlight is red,
There
so it just
are,
makes it look like a big lava flow.
There are a couple Manson songs I do not like. So it's not true that he could just shit on the stage. But
Yeah, you're not a big fan of Eat Me, Drink Me.
yeah, I don't really like that album very much. But there's a few songs in there I like. But I mean, like the song Para Noir from, I'm getting way too specific.
Golden
into
Age of
Manson
Grotesque.
shit that only a select audience is going to be able to understand. But yeah, there's a few songs I don't like.
The only band that has ever been a band where it's like I like at least every one of their songs is Nirvana for me.
Yeah.
Like I pretty much you throw on any Nirvana song, there are ones I like way more than others.
Of course, yeah.
But you know, like you just hit a randomizer on their entire fucking discography, and you're gonna land on something I want to listen to.
I feel that way about a few bands, but Nirvana.
I used to feel that way. I used to feel that way about Nine Inch Nails, but now, oh man, I wouldn't hit a randomizer on Nine Inch Nails' current catalog.
You know what? I realize there is a little bit of a disagreement on the Nine Inch Nails thing. Now,
about what?
Both you and Scotty are Nine Inch Nails fans, and both of you guys agree that they went to shit.
Yes.
But when they went to shit is a matter of some contention.
So, Paul, when do you feel they went to shit?
After The Fragile.
Okay.
I think The Fragile was their last really good album.
In my opinion, is With Teeth.
Because Scotty likes With the Teeth.
Okay. I admit that one part you did right there is pretty bad.
With the Teeth.
And I will say this: does it rise in the level to like the downward spiral and the Fragile? No, I don't think it does.
I think I side more with you on this one, Scotty. I actually do like With
But
Teeth.
I enjoy With Teeth.
That's just where the pattern stopped for me. It's like, okay, I heard Pretty Hate Machine for the first time. And it was like, oh, it blew my fucking mind. It was like a revelation. Then I hear fucking Downward Spiral for the first time. Oh my fucking God, what an album.
Yeah.
And then The Fragile was the same way for me. That album was just like, oh, they're just going to keep getting better. And then With Teeth came along and I was like, it's not a horrible album, but I don't want to listen to it anymore.
With Pozigo.
See, I think that the reason I feel a little differently is because I feel like I like With Teeth better than The Fragile. Because...
Ooh, I'd say
love
like the Fragile better.
I mean, I like the Fragile, but I feel like there's a lot of songs on there that ultimately I skip if I listen to.
Here's
it.
the thing with the Fragile.
TJ.
The Fragile is like The Wall. When you listen to it like as an entire album,
Right.
From one end to the other.
That's a dying sort of medium, I guess, is like listening from start to finish to a fucking album. You know?
Right. I love throwing on the Fragile when I've got some long ass fucking task to do because I just know, like, yeah, there's cuts on that album like that are just basically noise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's because it's bookending and leading into another group.
Dude, I love this song. Just like you imagine, it's actually an instrumental song.
Right.
What's
It has so many good-
Mare is another one on there.
What's
Yeah.
the best song on With Teeth for you, Scotty? Since you actually
Can you give me a track listing?
Yeah. I know you're not like listening to With Teeth constantly or anything.
With the teeth.
The big single off is "The Hand That Feeds," which I do enjoy that song. But I'm not sure it's my favorite.
All right, I'm pulling up the track
Which came?
list now.
Let me ask you this: which came first, the Fragile or the Perfect Drug solo cut?
I think Perfect Drug did.
Perfect Drug.
I'm pretty sure.
That was on
I think you're
the
right.
Lost Highway soundtrack. I believe.
You're right.
So here's the songs: "All the Love in the World." I think it's a pretty good song.
Yeah, I like it.
"You Know What You Are." I like that song. "The
Yeah.
Collector," which is probably my favorite song on the album.
That's a good song.
"The Hand That Feeds."
Single.
Single. It's a decent single. "Love Is Not Enough." I don't really care for it.
Nah, I'm not.
Every Day Is Exactly the Same. I really like that song.
Yeah.
With Teeth, I mean, despite the very silly chorus that does make me laugh, I kind of enjoy the song.
Yeah.
Only I like. Getting Smaller. I don't even remember what that sounds
Getting
like.
smaller and smaller.
Honestly,
and
the
smaller.
last the last kind of like latter part of the album, I kind of Sunspots. I do like The Line Begins to Blur. Beside You in Time, I couldn't even tell you. If you could start playing
It's
it
like
right
a-
now,
it's like
and
a slow song,
I wouldn't be able to
I
identify it.
believe.
And I do like Right Where It Belongs. I think that's a pretty good song. But what's your favorite on there?
Oh man, that's tough. I'll go back to like the middle section because I think that was probably
So
go after Collector. What's after Collector?
Collector was Hand That Feeds. Love Is Not Enough. Every Day Is Exactly the Same. Love Is Not Enough sounds like a James Bond song, by the way.
Love is not.
With the Teeth. Only. Getting Smaller. Sunspots.
I think when it came out, I think Only was my favorite song off of it.
You think it still is?
Yeah,
Okay.
probably so. I'll go back and listen.
That
to
was
it.
their second single.
I also like Every Day. Every Day was actually I think the third single.
Every day is exactly the
But
same.
I like most of those songs. You know, I would say the weakest one on the album is probably. I want to say almost Hand That Feeds is actually probably one of the weakest songs on there.
There's a few on there I don't really remember very well because I haven't listened to the album.
I do like the song, the Sunspot
Oh, wow.
song, though.
but I'll revisit certain songs.
Beside You in
off
Time
there.
was okay. I mean, but I agree with Paul. Did it have the same sort of like, oh man, like, I mean, comparing it to the Downward Spiral and the Fragile, but that's kind of the thing. It's kind of like the same thing with Tool. It's like, you know,
10,000 Days was kind of like, yeah, it's got some
I
good
like
stuff
it.
on it, but It didn't feel. I don't know. It
And
didn't
the
have the
latest two
same
album-
impact as.
You know, I don't know what it is, but like, there's been a new Tool album out for. I don't even know how long now. 3 months,
What's the
4
new Tool
months,
album called?
6
It's,
months. I don't even know. I haven't listened to it.
yeah, I need.
Like, I haven't listened to a fucking single track.
I
off
almost
it.
just don't want to.
Yeah, I'm kind of just like, eh. You know, you took 12 years to make it. I'm not interested anymore. I just don't care at this point.
Yeah.
You're interested in Chinese democracy, TJ?
Yeah, I'm still waiting on Chinese democracy.
Fear inoculum.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's one of those things that I feel like unless they delivered their fucking magnum opus, after 12 years, it's kind of just like, yeah, it is like, we waited this long, and what do we really fucking get? I mean, it's a decent album in my opinion, but is it blowing out the water like Undertow? Is it blowing out of the water Enema? Is it blowing that up? The answer is no.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I don't even need to hear it to know. Best Tool album ever.
It's not.
Best Tool album ever.
I mean, to me,
what does Anthony
Ross,
Fantano think?
I don't care what he thinks at all.
What does Anthony Fantano think?
I've never really cared for critics that much, but music critics especially.
Yeah.
I've never listened to music critics. Like,
Yeah.
I'll listen to I'll listen to movie critique, but like music critique just doesn't interest me. That's something I want to decide for myself. Like, I know what shit is and what isn't. You know what I mean? I don't need to be explained the nuance of music in the same way that I like to have it explained by critics in movies. A good movie critic is awesome, but I've never given. I couldn't name a single fucking music critic outside of Fantano.
Anthony Fantano, the greatest music critic of all time.
That's just because I've met the guy and worked with him a couple times.
Beyonce's new album is hot.
Yeah, it's when you hear opinions like that, it's like, how can you tell me with a straight fucking face? Like, I don't know.
Anthony Fantano should be dragged into the street and beaten with sticks.
I don't know if I go that far.
Yeah, whatever.
I just have a good method for finding music that I like that has always worked for me. So I don't
You
feel like
listen to shit you like.
I don't need to be guided. Like, I have a few people around me whose musical tastes that I trust, and I let them bring me shit. And then every once in a while I go and I give a listen to some oddball shit and see if I can get into it. And I find a couple new bands or a couple new songs I like. Just always been that way.
You know what I do is I just go watch a shit ton of. I pretty much try to watch like every music video that comes out that gets any sort of traction or notice on any level.
I've sat with you on this fucking horrible self-flagellating ritual
it is a horrible
and
painful ritual.
I can't do it. I'd
No,
never
it's
be able to
agony.
do that on my own.
It's fucking agony. Every once in a while you find like a little hidden gem of like, wow, that wasn't so bad. But
No.
That's one of my weird. That's one of my weird little. I'm gonna try to kind of keep tabs on what's going on in society a little bit, like what's going on in popular culture.
Oh, you know when the last time I really appreciated somebody else's, some corporation's view on music was MTV back in the day. In the late 80s and through the mid 90s and shit, MTV was fucking badass for discovering new music and shit. Because they had all these different blocks of different kinds of music that they would play. Late night was all the weird shit. You know what I mean?
That's when I would like.
But they needed eyeballs, so they actually needed to play shit that people were gonna like. Because when you think about the commitment, you think about that time commitment. Like, people were watching that shit, and there was kind of like a thing of, you wanted to discover new shit, and you were kind of waiting to see that in a sense too. So I think people prime themselves for MTV, because that was half the fun. Like, me and you used to watch MTV X, which is the rock one. That's the only way you saw that's the only way we were able to see those Manson music videos he'd put out, because they wouldn't get a lot of airplay otherwise.
MTV was badass, dude. I don't care what anybody says. There's a lot of hate towards MTV now because it's a boomer meme. But fuck me, dude.
Well, they just went
MTV was badass.
but they went hardcore into reality shows and stuff like that, and that's really what killed MTV.
It started to suck around. Then.
I mean, now MTV is basically just
the
a teen
real
gossip
world.
rag.
Road rules. Real world versus road rules challenge.
They tried to become more woke than BuzzFeed. They had that thing going on. It's like, I'm sorry, guys. You can do the woke thing if you want.
Come on down to woke TV.
But you're just a woke ripoff of BuzzFeed, and that's fine. Do what you want to do. But when they were at the point where they're innovators, and then they were just doing everything to stay relevant, and unfortunately when that happens, you usually see a decline in that platform.
It sucks.
MTV was the shit back in the day.
It was.
Dude, like,
TRL, dude.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, Total Request Live.
People were fucking like who was not going to be number one? You know, people, and it was like that. There was like a competitive factor with music then. It was like, you know, people were trying to get their fans to fucking call in. Vote for this, vote for this,
vote for us on TRL.
And usually it was garbage. Usually it was like NSYNC wins again. You know, it's like, okay, great.
Hit me, baby, one more time.
That's Backstreet Boys, isn't
Whatever. They're the same.
Yeah.
There was
MTV was so good.
NSYNC. There was Backstreet Boys. There was 98 Degrees.
Oh yeah.
That was like the third tier.
that was like the
lower rung. It was kind of like debated who's the better boy band, and all the fucking girls took sides. Like, it's fucking NSYNC is better. No, Backstreet Boys is better.
Do you remember? That's how like we knew Mario's shtick. You know, the Vigilant Christian Mario.
Right.
We knew his shtick because you had printed out a bunch of articles from Christians back in the day that talked about how satanic the Backstreet Boys and NSYNC were, and Harry Potter, of course, too.
And it didn't. I mean, it's the easiest style of content you could ever imagine. I mean, we know this. What's popular? What's going on? Okay, it's satanic. Here's some lame justification for why Illuminati, Satan, blah blah blah. Give me money.
But that's why that blew my mind at the time to see like they haven't even updated the technique. But just the fact that
because they don't need to.
Yeah, well, you really don't.
I mean, it's like the Super Bowl halftime show.
Satanic evil.
Oh, it's satanic. Oh, like they did a triangle with their legs or whatever. And it's you know, satanic.
This is reminiscent of Sodom and Gomorrah.
This is a recreation of the rituals of Set or something. I don't know. Give me some fucking money.
Did I wish Hollywood was that cool? I wish Hollywood was doing like, you know, now we praise Set in our show. Like, they're not doing anything like that.
And now we pay tribute to our Dark Lord, Satan.
Like, when can this actually happen?
That'd be fucking sick, bro. I like it. Hollywood's fucking put it all out there now.
You're just susceptible to the other side of the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is satanic. You're like, yeah.
That's so true.
I'm down with that.
It's so
true. We all have our little buttons that if you push it, it's like, yeah, cool. I like that button.
We're
being
edgy.
pushed.
We're like, yeah, we like it suddenly.
It's too goofy for me.
Society corrodes. Everyone explodes.
It is kind of goofy and hokey. I don't blame you.
I've never been able to like get with the whole Satanist thing. I enjoy the edge of it, and I prefer a Satanist to a Christian any day. But
Yeah.
I still think Satanism is pretty fucking goofy.
I don't really go around calling myself a Satanist or anything.
No.
I have a fascination with Satan and satanic imagery.
I have a sympathy for that. I guess that religion.
Please allow me to introduce myself. Yeah.
I mean, it's still on its face ridiculous, and they do ridiculous things, which, you know. But, I mean, at least a lot of times it's more just satirical in nature.
I mean, you go to a fucking satanic fucking ritual or whatever, there's like a naked woman splayed on an altar with her titties heaving all over the place and a bunch of people dressed in like creepy robes and animal masks and shit. I mean, you know, that's pretty cool.
See, if I saw
Compare that to like a Catholic
it's like
mass
Eyes
or
Wide
something.
Shut, dude.
If I saw a scene like that, though, if I walked up on a scene like that, the first thought that would go through my head would be like, wow, I wish all these fucking dumbass weirdos in robes weren't here so I could fucking spit. You know what I mean? I
can appreciate that mentality.
I can appreciate a naked woman.
But mine's more like, give me that robe. I'm down with whatever you fuckers are up to. This seems pretty cool.
You're like the dude in the back row of the porn theater. You're like, I'm just here to watch. Just whatever happens, happens.
Oh my god! You guys ever hear? This is really gross, actually. You know have like these porn stores and porn theaters and shit. They have these little booths and shit. These little jack off booths. You know?
Yeah.
Oh god.
What?
The spank booth.
Yeah.
I don't know what state of mind you have to be in to go into the jack off booth in a porn
There's
store.
a bunch of people you could ask.
Yeah,
I know.
So anyway,
have you guys ever visited one? Because I've never done it.
Okay. Fuck
would
no.
would you?
No.
I don't think I would. Maybe I don't know.
Would you go to the spank bank, dude?
I mean I mean, like, it's weird. Like, we live in the age where you can just, you know, pull up porn and jerk off at your computer or your phone or whatever.
But I mean, obviously with those people, there's some sort of like public thrill of doing it.
Well, but they're in a little box. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, but everyone knows.
Anyway,
everyone knows they're in the jerk off box.
You're sidetracking what I'm trying to say here.
So what?
There's people at these porn stores whose job it is to like clean the box and stuff too.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, the jizz moppers.
Yeah, there's like professional, you know, jizz moppers out there. But it's not even them I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is there's also a group of people And I read about this, I think, in a Chuck Palahniuk series of essays.
I know where you're going.
He wrote this series of essays about Portland, and one of the things he did was he talked to a lot of the porn store kind of people around Portland. And apparently, there's a group of people that are like the bane of these porn stores with these jack-off booths, because they will go in there and they will take all of the semen and stuff all over the floor and just like rub it all over themselves, like all over their faces and stuff.
Oh man!
Time for a little semen bath.
And it's like you gotta. These dudes had to be like chased off with a broom and shit. Like, get out of here, you fucking
out of the store! Goddamn raccoons coming here all the time.
Rubbing their semen all over their faces. Ah,
Get out of here!
Crazy little jizz monkey, get out!
Go find some crayfish.
It's true.
Wow.
I've known people that worked at sex shops and strip clubs, and I would say that the sex shop stories are mainly just like a bunch of like people who are like in uptight communities, like come in like, need a double-head dildo. Double-head dildo. Right over this way, sir. And like it's like you're like very professional. Like that's how the best way they say they handle it. It's like, look, it's very awkward. So like the way you deal with it is like you're just very helpful and make suggestions. You're like, of course, sir. I'll now help you find a double-headed dildo. What kind of double-headed dildo are you looking for? Does color matter? Does size matter? You know, like, and you just go through all the. You act super professional with people like that.
Yeah.
It's just kind of strange, though, that someone would go to a place to rub semen on themselves, but you know, I mean, hey, maybe it's like maybe they're trying to get like a skin, like a facial. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's a facial scrub for them.
I think we're misunderstanding the jizz booth people, not the jizz monkeys. That's just that is what it is. But the people that go to the jizz booths,
Right, like Pee Wee Herman.
Because think about it though. We are spoiled as fuck because we basically, by the time we wanted porn, we just had infinite porn.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
They had to like cross town and go
If
into
you were-
some booth of shame and all this.
If you're 14 in the 70s, you know what I mean? You can't go up into your room and furtively watch porn. It's just not
Not an option.
Porn was like hugely expensive. Like it was like $90 to buy a porn movie. You know what I mean? So you had to get like.
So it's not that much to go into the jizz booth.
Right. And that's the thing is like I think a lot of the people that went into jizz booths, if they could have had a jizz booth at their house, they wouldn't have been down there doing it.
Yeah,
you know? It's just like, where can I go to have a private place where I can look at porn
I understand,
and jerk off?
I understand the existence of the 70s jizz booth. What I don't understand is Jizz Booth 2020. Like, what the fuck is this?
Well,
Why
there's
is this
still a lot of
thing?
people that came of age in the 70s. Maybe they developed a,
No,
Maybe
it's not. It's. I think it's for younger people.
Maybe
But I mean,
they've like updated the Jizz Booth.
maybe I think maybe the argument lies here is I think Paul's more correct about that time period, but I think now I would say argue I'm more correct, or you're more correct, because just simply the fact that like you're right now anyone can have a device like this, and virtually everyone does.
Yeah.
So I mean, this going to the fucking jerk off booth. You kind of need like it's kind of more I think a voyeuristic thing.
One thing when I was in Vegas,
not voyeuristic, but a public, you know.
Yeah, when I was in Vegas, I was playing the Wheel of Fortune slot, and it's like a 3D slot machine. It has like one of those screens, but it's in 3D. You don't need glasses for it. It just does it, you know, and it's pretty cool. I'm wondering if like maybe they're doing that in those porn booths now.
No, they're not.
Because that'd be an attract. I mean, I'd be like, all right, maybe I will check that out.
I bet there's not as many jizz booths still left as we think.
But there might.
I don't know that a lot of these places still employ the
tell you
jizz
something.
What
booth.
about VR porn, dude?
Let me tell you something. The jizz
That's like
booth,
the fucking new frontier.
The jizz booth is still a thing, Paul. It's still a thing.
I mean, I know it's still a thing, but I don't think they're as prevalent as they used to be. I think now they're like a niche thing in certain areas. There's a jizz booth.
There's probably 7 jizz booths just within a mile radius of where you're sitting right now.
I don't think that's true.
I think it's true.
I don't think that's true
I
at
think
all.
there's
Can you even
jizz
find
booths
one,
everywhere.
TJ? Can you even find one
Jizz booth.
Go look it up.
Well, I don't know what they're actually called. They're not called jizz booths. I can't just type in jizz booth.
And I don't know that like it's listed as an amenity in these places either.
They're not like, by the way, we do have a jizz booth, you know?
Well, I bet you there's one in the Netherlands, dude.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I'm sure.
I mean, they have the
I'm
fucking.
sure there's a few
They have
sprinkled
live
around here.
fucking shows there, which you couldn't get TJ to fucking go do for some fucking reason. We wanted to go with a bunch of fucking like Japanese tourists into this show where all these people had sex, and she just like, no, it's too much money. That wasn't even the reason. You were just embarrassed, TJ.
It was too much money.
You were just embarrassed.
I don't like big public sex show shit that's going on.
Yeah, but I'm not saying you go every fucking time, but you go once to see what the fucking spectacle's about. Then you just go, I've seen it.
I don't really like being around a bunch of people, especially not in that situation.
And then you fucking committed the sin of not going to Banana Bar, dude. You should have fucking gone to that place.
The fucking crowd that was with us didn't even want to go
Fuck those motherfuckers, dude. Name one of those people. Name one of those fucking people.
Depressed guy
that
fucking.
You can't name one of those motherfuckers, TJ.
I could never name it. I couldn't even
Remember
name
that
the
weird,
two of you half the
You
time.
know what? This is a total side. Remember that weird dude that came up to us in the Burger King with the rat in it?
Yeah.
And it's all like, I don't know, it was like, amazing atheist, I love you. You are my friend now. And I'm like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And the guy's like losing his fucking mind. But all I remember that fucking trip was.
I was there and I still don't understand the story you just told.
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense. But what I'm saying to you is that in the Netherlands, you could fucking find a jizz booth. I bet you.
Well, yeah, no shit.
Yeah.
You could find a jizz booth here. There's probably 20. 20 within a block.
There's not 20 within a block of here, but I bet if you wanted a jizz booth somewhere down in some seedy place in New Orleans, probably has a jizz
seedy,
booth.
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Seedy, yeah.
Yeah.
That's. I'm sorry.
Seed.
New Orleans is seedy in more ways than one.
Oh, yeah, lots of seed.
I'm sure there's a few sprinkled around New Orleans, but I think those things used to be in every fucking town at one point.
Oh, yeah.
Every porn shop had a jizz booth, and there's a porn shop everywhere.
Feel free to make yourself, welcome yourself to any of our amenities. We do have a fine jizz booth.
Because
You know what they probably call it? Like a private viewing area. If you like to review some of the content you've rented, there's a private viewing area.
Private viewing area.
I've been to those shops that they sell dildos and shit in, and I don't think I've ever run into a jizz booth.
Oh, no.
I've been to a few. I haven't been to tons of them, but I've.
But did you ask?
Yeah,
maybe it's in the back.
You can see a jizz booth. The jizz booths that I've seen in documentaries and shit were all in New York.
Yeah, jizz
New
booth.
York had that huge
Oh, shit.
sex shop boom, and there were jizz booths and just like multiple jizz booths.
Is that where you
in
have to
some
go
of
to
these
find
places.
the mythical jizz booth? You have to go to New York?
Jizz booth. TJ, did you just Google jizz booth?
I did. I want to see what's going on. I'm trying to figure out what the actual term is for them.
The jizz booth. It's what.
I guess they call them private booths.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Private booths.
Type in private booth.
Jizz
adult
booth is
adult store.
Now the government thinks TJ's looking for a jerk off booth.
I mean,
This man's looking for a jizz booth.
so here's some best adult video booths near me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, there's a bunch in New Orleans. Let's see, Visions Men's Club. What's this Dynamo shit? Looks like the fucking picture of this Dynamo shit is just a bunch of sex toys on shelves. But do they have a jizz booth? Dynamo is an independent, woman-owned adult boutique located in New Orleans. We strive to promote happy, sexual, blah, 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 blah.
By the way, we have a jizz booth.
Gender orientation, cheerful, comfortable, stress-free environment, blah, 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 blah. See, it's not clear. It's not clear if there's a jizz booth.
I bet that place doesn't. That doesn't sound like a place that would have a jizz booth.
We just gotta
never
call
know.
him up and be like, "Excuse me, you got a jizz booth?"
Pardon me, ma'am. I do.
Only question I got to know is, you got a jizz booth there?
I was reading the reviews here.
I've been on the phone all day trying to find a jizz booth.
I just need
Y'all got one of them down there?
Oh yes, so we got the finest a jizz booth this side of the Mississippi. Come on
to
down.
declare. I
Give
don't
me
know.
a damn jizz booth, you son of a bitch. That's all I want out of life.
It's just a jizz booth.
Let's have let's have the jizz booth meetup, dude.
All you need is jizz. La, da, 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 da. Yeah. Yeah, the jizz booth meetup. We're all going to meet in the fucking jizz booth.
I do not want to do it.
First come, first serve.
The jizz booth meetup. Oh, fuck me, man.
Welcome to the jizz booth. The three of us are just like, come on in.
It's gonna be great.
Watch your step. It's slippery and sticky.
And you know what? You guys know the truth. That enough, at least like probably 10 to 20 of our weird fans would show up to it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey guys, we're at the jizz booth now.
I think more than 20 would
That
show up.
jizz booth would be like a clown car.
I think it'd be our biggest meetup ever.
Yeah, like 700 people show up. Jizz booth, jizz booth. They're rioting for jizz booths. Quickly, put up more jizz booths. We somehow get all 700 in the jizz booth, and then about an hour later, the doors pop off. They all float away on a fucking river of jizz.
Looks like the elevator from The Shining, but with cum.
Jizz.
Damn. This shit has come full circle.
It's come full circle, jerk.
What a fucking nightmare. Oh, God.
That's a pre-post show.
No,
it's
it's
not.
not. It's a grease trap. I keep
Damn,
forgetting.
dude. 10 lashings.
10 demerits for TJ.
10 demerits, 10 lashings.